My question is actually about the economics of toy manufacturing in general.
Oh my goodness, that's a whole
maybe I can answer this one.
Dave, the VP will answer that.
We'll see.
With the category of boys' toys, age mostly toward like 7 to 10, that is their range, where there's a lot more competition for their attention, are action figures, as we know it, the dinosaur? Are they going to die out in the next few years?
I can only give you an opinion on that. I can't talk as like the expert on all children, all places, but I have pretty good knowledge of what the kids want. Boys like to play with action figures. I think that they're going to want to play with action figures for a long, long time. They are splitting their attention among a lot of different entertainment pieces, but figures are part of their life. It lets them transfer themselves into a piece, explore. It's part of their education. We could go into sort of child psychology at this point. Love to talk to you afterwards if you want to go into a little more depth. But overall, yeah, they're around and they're going to be around for a long time.
Okay, there's people here of all ages, pretty much. Since I'm 35, Marvel Legends has a lot of interpretations of different characters. Like we got Steve Rogers, gonna be Wave 1. My question is, are you guys gonna eventually do the classic, traditional, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, the original costumes of the characters? For example, Captain America, even in Legends, he was more of a kind of ultimate Captain America, except for Wave 1. Are we gonna eventually see the original Steve Rogers, Captain America, Marvel Legends?
I would say there definitely would be a good chance of it. We have some figures in our tooling library that we're very proud of, and we think we have a lot of potential to have for a long time. The new Thor, the Extremis. There are some things in our tooling library that are missing. We don't have a definitive Captain America. In my opinion, we don't have a definitive Wolverine yet. There are definitely the opportunities to put those characters in there, and obviously, you guys know with every bane of your existence, we do like to put those big hitters into the waves. So, yeah.
The last couple of years we've revealed some larger figures in the multiverse lines. A lot of this was essentially revealed last year. Are there any idea of what you may see?
Well, we're talking about doing Foon, but we're always looking at other characters to do. I mean, me personally, I would love to do a Red Ronin. I think that would be really cool, like a classic Red Ronin. But the larger characters are kind of limited in the Marvel Universe. I mean, there are a lot of them, but there's not as many as what most people would think, so.
And a lot of them are incredibly obscure.
Right. But I mean, we look at whatever we can do, so.
For the Marvel Universe line, do you guys plan on doing additional accessories like hand swaps or head swaps?
Yeah. Right. Again, that's something that we've talked about doing, adding other accessories, parts, body parts, fists and open fists, slash fists, all that kind of slash hands and everything. So, and Legends 2, yeah, we talked about that as well. So
we have a Legends 2 in 2-pack formula, possibly. In Build-A-Figure, highly unlikely. We want to spend our money on the figure and the Build-A-Figure component and all the deco that we can cram onto those things. So under the Build-A-Figure format, probably no more of the hands and stuff. Okay, noted.
Right there on the end, yes.
Yeah, any universe line, like I know you've got the Tony Stark Iron Man coming out.
Yep.
Did you guys have plans for like doing a regular Peter Parker or Tony Stark suit or?
Peter Parker is going to show up. Somebody another character is wearing a suit is going to show up too. All the way in the back with the beard. I cannot hear you.
Marvel partners with Hasbro?
We haven't done that. That becomes a little sticky, with legal and licenses and all that other stuff. But one character that I would like to do is Death's Head, who has a big Transformers following. So we don't have plans to do them, but hopefully we'll be able to get around to making them one day.
First off, thank you for pausing and Drax and starting the team building. Inhuman. Well, my question is, in the past there's been Marvel Legends, and then when, like say, a Spider-Man movie comes out, there's a Spider-Man classic, like a tie-in line. Will there ever be themed sidelines, a Legend style, like Fantastic Four or Avengers, or whatever, movies coming out, with comic-based figures on the side, or will it always be under Marvel Legends? It's always a mix.
Yeah, I mean, so Legends for us is kind of the umbrella for a specific type of product. I think, we feel very fortunate that Marvel has the most unbelievable movie slate coming out over the next, foreseeable future. So the chance to tie in with great movies is something that we're always going to look for the right ways to do it. If there's classic events that make sense to do it. So for us, this is just kind of the re-beginning of Legends. And as we see the chances to partner around these type of special events, you'll definitely be seeing some things that I think will be very exciting within the Marvel Legends universe that are off of the kind of the core line.
No limit. It all just depends on the character's Terrax. In Wave 1 is approximately 8 inches tall. Arnim Zola is between 6'7", 6.5". It's just whatever's the right height for the character. Within reason. We don't have a body that matches the Marvel specs perfectly on every character, but we just try to mix it up as close as possible to what we can build.
First of all, thank you, Marvel Legends, again, especially with such a great detail and sculpt and everything. They look great. My question is about the gigantic Kyle's Sentinel. The silver one is the one that's going to come out at retail, correct?
Right.
There will be no red blue one at retail. I know I'm going to sound kind of like a complainer here. I'm sorry to complain because I care, but how did that decision come to pass that the majority of people who would get the opportunity to buy the traditional colors of Sentinel aren't going to be able to do that unless they get the Comic-Con exclusive?
Maybe you will. No, maybe the Comic-Con exclusive deco may show up in retail.
That's what I was asking. Are you saying that will happen?
We're talking about it. We're trying to make that happen. There's a very good chance that will happen.
I just want to piggyback on his thought. Thank you very much for bringing Marvel Legends back. It's so exciting. Right, don't take this the wrong way, but Toy Biz, when they were doing Marvel Legends, there were some figures that came out with subpar. And there's been on the boards a lot of people saying, oh, I wish they'd remake Scarlet Witch or Ross. Is that ever going to happen? Are you guys something you think about remakes that you'd like to revisit?
Oh, you like another Banshee? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to do another Banshee, but yeah, there are definitely figures that didn't live up to what the original sculpts were, and yes, when the time is right, we would definitely like to revisit those characters.
And any chance of those protos that we saw a couple of summers ago, prototypes?
Oh, and from the fans' choice poll? Well, that's obviously where Constrictor came from. So yeah, those are all still floating around the office, and when possible, if the demand's there, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Marvel Legends line is great. That's really great. That's coming back. Of course, the Marvel Universe line is going strong. We're happy that it's still continuing. But in regards to Marvel Legends, as it is tapering off, first time there's a few figures that are really hard to find. Is there any chance that you'll bring them back in later runs?
Yeah. Once more we can do that. It's just a matter of finding the item count to put them in the line. Because we have a whole new look for these things now, we can't just bring them back out. It would have to have the entire team from across design, marketing, engineering, packaging, all to put their talents into something like that. So it would take a spot out of the opportunity to get a new whatever.
Well, to rephrase it, like maybe the way that Star Wars line is up with the Sega Lanterns, it's just it's rehashed figures put on the different cards, but sort of like a sub line. That's really
Yeah, eventually.
Yes.
I noticed that the Marvel Legends packaging said Marvel Universe on it, on the card. Is that that's official? That's not going to be? Because that could be confusing when I'm, calling Walmart and Toys R Us. They don't know exactly what it is I want. So if I ask for Marvel Legends and they go to see that it says Marvel Universe, they might just tell me, oh, we don't have to do that. And obviously they're very hard to find to begin with.
Well, Marvel Universe is the overarching brand that of the collector segments of Hasbro Marvel product. So Marvel Legends is a piece of the Marvel Universe.
Right next to him.
All right, finally my arm was getting tired. About the movie line, the 6-inch line, is there a reason that they seem smaller, especially the Iron Man figures? Is there a reason that they seem smaller compared to the Legends versions? Not only the Toy Biz, but as well as Hasbro. And the same thing, other than the Loki, of course, because that name's huge. That the Captain America seems even smaller than the Iron Man from the movie.
From the movie line. They are, we've had a lot of discussions with movie line figures with Marvel themselves, and because these figures actually portray the likenesses of certain actors playing them, we are asked to not necessarily follow the Marvel lore canon for them, and more to match what is appropriate for the films. So while they're all sub pieces of the same, they aren't handled across the board in exactly the same way.
Right.
Okay, we're only going to be able to handle another 2 or 3 more questions.
not as much a question, I just want to say thank you for bringing Marvel Legends back.
Actually, we just can't say enough about working with Jesse.
If there's anyone in the room who do not know who that is Mr. Jesse Falcon.
Mr. Jesse Falcon, ladies and gentlemen, from Marvel.
And he's going places. That kid is going places.
And actually, Jesse, has been a tremendous partner with us on working out which figures to do and what variants and everything. He's a fantastic partner, and we look forward to continuing this as we grow the whole line.
Right, and we've all been fighting for Marvel Legends, but Jesse has been fighting
loudly.
Bloody knuckles and all. He has really been championing this line. So a lot of you guys already know this, but you really should. You owe a debt of gratitude to this man because he's really for you guys.
Did you have another question, sir? Oh.
There's a guy over there that's his arm up for a while.
I just about cracked up.
Boo to you, sir.
What?
Yes.
Hi, Dan.
I love the idea of the running change on the figures in the Marvel Legends line, but it feels like a lot of retailers are ordering minimum quantities, things like that. And some of us live in the land of Frank and Sons in LA, where if you're not there when the case is open, you're never going to see things. So is there any sort of contingency plan on those swap outs that are coming?
I think when we design the waves, we try to design the quantities to make sure that we have enough, kind of to make sure they go across the world or across the the U.S. for example, or the different retailers. There's a certain reality. There's only so much we can control on how different retailers distribute in different ways. So we do the best we can, and sometimes if something hits like that, there's not much we can do. But we do try to plan as much as we can in advance to make sure it doesn't happen. It looks like we have time for one more question.
Yeah, we have one more question. Actually, I'm going to take that question, so I'm not giving it to you. Come down to the booth, ask us anything you want. We're going to be down there. My question to you is there a figure that we haven't done that we need to do? Call it out.
Really, Dave? You thought that would